Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. We have a very exciting matchup to get into. Naomi Osaka versus Elina Svitolina for the National Bank Open quarter-final. Head-to-head is 4-3. We're going to break it down in detail as always. Before we do that, remember to that like button, do subscribe if you're new, and do leave a rating or review if you are listening on a podcast platform. Okay, Naomi Osaka versus Svitolina. This is a great clash of styles. The head-to-head, as I said, is 4-3. Osaka has won the last two matches they've played. One was in 2024, so last year in Miami. Osaka won in straight sets. Before that, we go all the way back to 2019 when Osaka beat her in Australia at the Australian Open 6-4, 6-1. And the last time Svitolina beat Osaka was in 2018, so that's a while ago. Don't know how much we can really take from those matches, in all honesty. Svitolina has changed a lot since 2019 in terms of her style. I think she's a little bit more aggressive. She's still, I think, we would still put her in the counter-puncher bucket, but I think she's a more aggressive counter-puncher than prior to her coming back after having her baby, I would say. And for Naomi, interestingly, actually, both, of course, have come back from having a baby and now they come back. But anyway, for Naomi, she still plays the same way. But what I would say about her is that she has really improved her conditioning. If we think back from when she first came back onto tour until now, I was watching her move in her last few matches, and her movement, her conditioning, she just looks a lot sharper. And that is a testament to her and the hard work she's been putting in, because she was chasing down drop shots and looking pretty comfortable doing it and then putting them away. And that wasn't necessarily the case when she first came back onto tour. So let's talk about their routes to the quarterfinals. Osaka unseeded, so she had to get through some pretty good players. First of all, in the first round, Canadian Arsenal straight sets, Samsonova in 3 sets. Samsonova, very tough competitor, so that was a great win. For Osaka, she saved match points in there. And I did say as well at the time that this could be a turning point in her comeback. She's in the quarterfinal stage. If she keeps on going on and makes a deep run, makes the final, potentially even wins the tournament, then come back to this moment, or come back to that moment where I talked about the turning point, and I might have to clip that. Ostapenko was the next victim for Osaka's straight set victory there. And then Sevastova. This was a really good win for Osaka. 6-1, 6-love. Dropped a single game. But she looks so good. Really, really good, Osaka. And I have to say, that was a statement performance from her. And she's been serving well. 5 aces in her last 2 matches, 8 against Samsonova, 2 against Arsenal. So I think she's been serving pretty well. The forehands look great, backhands look great. Movement, as I said, looks good. We don't really see her venture to the net much. That's not really something we look for. And actually, the biggest thing that I've noticed is her returning. I think her return game, when she first came back onto tour, one of the biggest things she talked about was improving her return. I think it has come on leaps and bounds. I'm not going to say it's an elite return, but it is definitely markedly improved. And that's a big, big plus for her. I think on hard court, she seems so comfortable knowing where the ball's going to bounce. She knows where it's going to be in her strike zone. She is comfortable hitting through the ball. And the angle she finds is just phenomenal. It's the best part of her game, in my opinion, is the angle she's able to manipulate from the back of the court. She does it. There's not many players that hit angles like she does from the positions that she does. And with such pace, precision, power. It's just crazy. For Svitolina, she's also looked very good. Seeded, so she did play 1 less match. Played Rakimova and Kalinskaya and Anisimova, all in straight set victories. The Kalinskaya victory was really impressive, 6-1, 6-1. Anisimova's been playing some great tennis, so that was a really good win as well for Svitolina. And she broke Anisimova when Anisimova was serving for 5-4 down in the first set, and then went on a really good run, taking the second set at 6-1. I think there's a few things here about how this match might play out. And ultimately, I'll give you guys my prediction as well, of course. So the first thing is that Svitolina is a very good pace absorber. She's got very good shot tolerance. Osaka will know that. So if Osaka wants to hit through her, that's not necessarily the best option. When I say through her, I'm talking about this very literally. Hitting through her just with depth and, you know, going down the line all the time and trying to just hit through her with pace and induce errors or get winners against Svitolina is not the game plan that is going to succeed. What Osaka needs to do, which luckily for her is very natural in her game, is utilize angles so then open up the court and then hit through. She's been doing that really well, and that's exactly what she needs to do against Svitolina, is drag her out wide with those angles. Svitolina will have to, she has to go cross, and then Osaka can then utilize her power and penetration through the court to then hit those bigger targets down the line, or even go in behind Svitolina at times. That's a good, very, very good option against someone who is as athletic and covers as much ground as Svitolina. Because for Svitolina, she has to go cross or she has to go for broke down the line, and she might make a few of those and they might be winners, but she's not really a high risk player. And if she were to try and pull those off anyway, the chances of her pulling them off, I'd say 2-3 times out of 10 is the maximum you're going to see from that, because they're difficult, uncomfortable shots to hit and extremely difficult to actually pull off. And that's why you would hear a lot of coaches say, if you're getting dragged out and you're rushed, if you go down the line, they'd call that a low percentage shot. On the serve return dynamic, you know, it's a difficult one because Svitolina is one of the best returners, I'd say, on tour. And she's had a pretty good serving tournament so far. So Osaka's going to have to be very much, I think, on top of the Svitolina second serve, attacking that. And she has been doing that. Because if I look at the second serve stats, against Anisimova, she was at 64%, which is crazy. A lot of that will be down to her defensive capabilities and being able to get to neutral off the first or second ball off her serve. But actually, I think if you're Osaka, you need to be trying to suffocate Svitolina straight away in the first or second ball off her own serve and also Svitolina's, because she needs to try and dictate the tempo of the points early on. Otherwise, Svitolina will just drag her into her own game and she will drag Osaka around. And yes, we talked about improved movement for Osaka, but she does not want to be getting tested physically on a regular basis in this match and being dragged out and feeling uncomfortable and not being able to play her game. So I think that's going to be quite important. Is for Osaka anyway, is going to be the first couple of shots, trying to really stay in control, keep Svitolina on her toes and making sure that she's not able to plant her own feet and hit through the ball, because we know that she's able to now, especially in the last year or so, or a couple of years now, she is able to generate a lot more power than she did in the past. And Osaka doesn't want to be feeling like she's having to defend, because that's exactly what Osaka does not want to be, is defending. She wants to be the one on the front foot for the majority of this match. In terms of predictions, historically 4-3 all on hard courts, 3 sets would not be a crazy prediction, but I'm actually going to, I've liked what I've seen from Osaka, and I'm going to pick Osaka in straight sets. I just think if she beat Svitolina in straight sets last year in Miami as well, the Osaka that I'm seeing right now, I think is better than that Osaka. Svitolina, I think she's probably around the same level. She was playing a really good level. She has been consistently, really, for the last couple of years. So that's how I see it. I think the matchup, I think, is actually, I don't think it's really good for Osaka because the head-to-head's 4-3, but I think it slightly favours her, and that's why the head-to-head is what it is. I think for Svitolina, I think she's going to struggle a little bit with the angles, and also I know Amanda also has power, but Osaka's power is different. She actually hits with a lot, like deceivingly hits with a lot of spin. It's quite deceiving because it looks like she hits very flat, but she doesn't. She actually hits with a lot of spin. Amanda hits quite flat through the court, but because Osaka hits with so much spin, when she hits angles, it does drag you out a lot. And she's very good at finishing off points, and she has been in the last few matches. So I'm going to go Osaka in straight sets. Let me know in the comment section below what you think and why. Thanks very much, guys. Stay safe and well. We'll see you in the next video.